2. This is another one, FIDE Grand Prix. We're talking about King's Indian today. So we're looking deeper inside the King's Indian, obviously, or King's Indian for the dub, for the win, right? So obviously you guys should have saw this game today. If you didn't, we're looking at it right now. This is Richard Report versus Radislav Wojtaszek. Some people call him Watasek, and then I've heard his name also be Wojtaszek, right? So like he got like a whole bunch of, I mean, it's just rough, right? It's rough. I mean, it's rough. Bruh. It really is right here, right? So it's we're gonna call him Watasek because that's what I'll be hearing mostly. So but Radislav, very strong, very, very strong. You know, he's been doing his thing here. So I think this was like the tie break, right? So but this was the King's Indian game that I want to look at today because it's King's Indian. We love King's Indian here at the channel. You already know that, right? We love King's Indian all day. Yeah, baby. Absolutely. So this drew my attention. This really drew my attention. So let's see, D4. He played D6. This was King's Indian by transposition. Knight F3, Knight F6, C4, G6, G3, and we have by transposition here the KID Finchetto variation. So here you got many ways to play, and I was bringing this up because I remember Richard Report played. This is like very deep analysis. I can't remember who Smyslov played. Smyslov, one of the world champions. If you don't know who that is, you should know Vasily Smyslov. Google him, right? But he played a very, very similar game in this game because I remember looking at some King's Indian OG games, like some triple OG games. And Smyslov was one of those boys where it was like he did the exact thing that you're about to see in this game. So it's very cool to see classical King's Indian be played still at this time. You know what I'm saying? It's fire. Richard Report did that. Let's see this. Right, let's see this. And for the King's Indian people that know that game, like Smyslov, he did this exactly in the Finchetto variation. So C6, Knight C3, right? Queen B6, and then this is a different. Let me go back here. Actually, C6 is not one that I actually played, bro. The C6 is it's a different one. It's very flexible. It's very flexible as a move. I usually go with the Knight C6 one. I've known this one the best. I've had the most success with this one. C6, I don't have enough on this, like theory and like inside out games and what about this move order, right? This one is different. This one is different. It's more flexible. But you do have Knight C6. You also have Knight D7. Knight D7 is actually the move played by shooting 80% of the classics. Bronstein, Bobby Fischer, even Smyslov has played the Knight D7 line with E6 and Knight going to E5 and Knight to C5, A5, C6 later, right? So it's like it's a plan. Yeah, I know that's you, Mr. Nobody. That's you there. So after C6, okay, so C6 move played, and the intention here is usually bringing the queen out like this. Sometimes you can even go this way. I've seen some people play Queen A5 and Queen H5. If you, I actually did this, right? If you guys go to my YouTube channel and go look at round two, Charlotte Norm, the first GM I beat over the board, right, was this. Queen A5 to H5, and it got live. Bruh. Oh, it got live, right? So this is definitely something you can do with the like a reverse Grand Prix type of feel to it, like this for the Grand Prix players. Bishop H3, Knight G4, but the F file is not open, so you do have to open that still. But it's very possible to play like that. C6, and then he plays Queen B6. Queen B6, which you're still going to play Knight D7, E5, Knight C5, A5. This is all still standard, right? But we just like looking at it to see what he's doing. H3 makes sense, hitting the G4 square, at least stopping stuff, especially Bishop G4 gets annoying. And Queen H6, and this is the first part where I was like, wait a second. I have seen this before. Bruh. Like, I have seen this before. He played Queen H6, and I was like, where's this from? And then I had to, like, go through the files, and I had to remember, oh, snap, Smyslov has done this. This is where I remember the first time I've seen this, is hitting this pawn. You play B5. There's also exchange sacrifice in here. And this right here is one of the, like, sharpest, weirdest, like, take them out of book ways I have ever seen in, like, the King's Indian here. So this is good for, like, taking people out of what they might know or might be comfortable with the King's Indian. I like the C6 idea, Queen B6 and Queen A6, which is very old idea, but not played as much these days. Queen A6, hitting the pawn, and you play over here, but you play on both sides of the board. It's pretty fire. So you play B3 and then B5, which this is automatically a different Finchetto King's Indian. Like, this automatically different. And I was like, yo, this might be something I might pick up. I just need to find the right, you know, you need more because what if they play a different variation? Then you have to play differently and you want to know what to do for real. Like you want to be right. But this is a very nice variation here. It's just completely different from what you're used to. You're not passive. It's not very cramped. And I like the B5 move. Dynamicism, the C file could open up. You could put the bishop here or you could keep it here. The queen puts pressure over here. Like this is sweet. It's very sweet. Richard always comes up, Big Rich always be coming up with some type of something, right? Always Big Rich. So knight d2 happens, defending the pawn. Now I don't remember what happened here, chat. So let's actually see what happened. Reason why we have it here, so we can't see the moves or the engine. We can only see the eval bar, so we can do this ourselves. So we can all learn here. So it's black to move. I don't remember. I remember the gist of the game and the ending, but some of the details here, in fact. So let's see what we have. Black to move, knight d7 is actually what hanging this. So this is the threat. This is the threat. He's threatening to take on b5. So either take on c4 or like bishop b7 or something. Maybe d5. Bishop e6. Yo, bishop e6 he takes though, right? This is the threat. You always want to be asking, what is the threat? The threat is this here. This is the threat. Bishop e6. Pawn takes b5. Oh yeah, we could go bishop e6. And then first off, let's see what the eval bar does. Eval bar don't move that much. But what about this? So you're telling me we just take this? So we just take this? Okay, so that's wrong. So apparently we're okay, but we can't take back. So I guess we do something like queen c8. Is this the move? Eval bar didn't move much. It's probably here. This is chaos though. And if your tactics ain't right, you are gone. Like you out here looking crazy. Bruh. You better be doing your tactics every day. Queen c8. Get out of here. What? This still hanging? This is crazy. This is chaos. Definitely do your tactics there. Knight d2. So he takes. Okay, so this is the live. All right, so let's refresh. Oop, put that over here. So he takes. He does take on c4 100%. That's right, toy attacker Garbo. Knight takes c4. Now d5. D5 don't really make sense. It could. It makes my bishop a little worse. I need to develop though. Knight d7 now feels like a move. Knight d7. If I go knight b6, I could give this up. And then for h3. I like this. I like this for black. Knight d7, there's play. You even have maybe e5, d6 is hanging. Not necessary to give that up. But this needs to move. So knight d7. What do you think, chat? What do you think? Black to move. Possibilities. Maybe bishop e6 now, toy attacker, actually. Bishop e6 does hit the knight. Now. At least it does something. A little bit better, but maybe he wants to stay here. Maybe he wants to stay here. Looks concise, yeah. Definitely. Interesting. It looks concise, yeah. Bishop e6 is definitely a possibility. Knight d7. Report finds Cole moves a lot. He does, says dude guy. This is why I'm looking at this game. Tomorrow I'm rooting for Icarbo though. Or today. It's like 1 in the morning. But I am rooting for Icarbo. But my guy. But yeah. Okay, takes. Yeah, but Richard's I'm a big fan of Richard's play. Okay, so what do you play? You played bishop b7. Okay, makes sense here. d5 garbage. d5, not really, but it does block. The problem is like when you push your pawn, it can't go backwards, right, Bogus? So when d5 happens, the knight could now get to c5 at some point. Maybe we put one here. Maybe you could go e3, but this is probably bad. But then you can get none. I mean, the squares just don't look that good. Doesn't look that good. But let me go back here, and I do want to see bishop e6, knight b to d7, and bishop b7. Yeah, I figured this bishop had to stay here, to be honest. Bishop e6, I just didn't think it needed to move yet. Knight b to d7 I really liked, because I wanted to get my knight off the back rank. But he played bishop b7. And then he did the same thing. He did the same thing anyway. He just did it a different way. Knight d7, bishop e7. Same thing. Okay, e4. 2 pawns in the center. Do we go e5 or c5 or anything 5? c5 is interesting than d5. Okay, what do we need? Rook b8, rook c8. What I remember from this game is that this was not a like This was not a spectacular, oh snap kind of game. Like, you know, this was not one of those. This was one of those grind, right, and learn, and one of those kind of games. But this is still King's Indian, and we need to learn from it, right? Because we're King's Indian players here, and you know, we want to see what happens. Okay, so that looks good. Yeah. So let's see what he played. Okay, so he played Rook D8. Wow, eval bar definitely shifted there. But let's see what they wanted. D5 now, bogus. Is nice. You can see it here on the screen, actually. D5, Rook F to D. Wow, that was a move. And Rook A to C, which is very common. Very easy move to make. Okay. Rook D8, Queen C2. Probably this rook. He played D5 now. He was ready. Best move. Jeez, bro. He be playing hard. Bruh. This man be playing great chess. D5. Number 1. D5. Now, of course, you could have did this. This was number 2, but D5. Number 1 there. Okay, D5. 95, shutting down a file. A, yeah. Looks like it. So he puts the knight on E5. Interesting. Takes, yeah, this is definitely correct. Taking, liquidating the center. Oh, he took this one though. Oh, let's go back here though. Interesting. He took this way. Oh, because this way is like if this way is like this, which is annoying. When you have this, everything gets liquidated. Everything comes off. Z Hobo, thanks for the follow. Everything comes off there. So he went the other route, which taking this way, which gives you a little bit more options. You could go like a knight D5 right now or something. But he captured. Knight takes C4. So this kind of was the same. Did he take here too? He played Rook C8. He kept it there. Z Hobo, we in here. That's right. He kept it there. So he played Rook here, defending, keeping some pieces on. But look at the structure here, right? And this is where, you know, not even now, even back here, you should be looking at the structure for an endgame, right? Structure for an endgame. And this is like high level chess here, right? But you have to understand the structure, right? What is the endgame going to look like? So we look at the pawn structures here. How many pawn islands? So this is 1 pawn island. 2, 3. I mean, this is kind of like, we'll call this 2. Say 2 and 3. 3 and then 1 and 2. So in fact, in this pawn structure, black's like a little bit better for an endgame. But then after D5, which I think they changed the structure. So we get here, let's count the pawn islands again. Okay, so this is 1 pawn island. This is the second one. And this is a third. Black has 1, 2, and 3. Same thing. 3 pawn islands here. How does the activity look? How active are the pieces? Well, at least our rook, this might be, you know, dead even, zeros as the eval bar says. But our rooks are, maybe at least this one's a little bit more active. I think black's slightly a little bit more active. But, I mean, white's fine, too. You have C5. It's dead even, right? Literally dead even. That's why he brought the rook here. I'm just more active than you are. That's it. My rooks look better than yours. That's just about it. Interesting. Like, that's it. What did he play? Rook D1. Super even. C5. Open it up. Make some trades. Everything comes off, right? Everything comes off, and he plays Rook C1, which is not that good. So he wanted to play for more, which is understandable. This is understandable. Who you got, Hikaru versus Rapport tomorrow? I got Big Hikaru. Let's go. Yeah, I got Hikaru for tomorrow. Yep. Yes, sir. 100%. 100%. Candy. What's up, Dylan? It's good. Hey, Doc. What's up? So he plays Queen F3 here. And now, if you're black here, you're absolutely like, yo, hold on. You know, I got the squares here. Like, I'm pushing. Bishop A1. H5. Expanding. H4 looks annoying too as well, because if you push, you got problems over here. So he deals with it and says, let's trade the queens. Then he trades them, and then there was more trades. H4 was still a move. That's good. I think G4, or he captured that. Rook D5. I'm like, this is like, you know, nothing's really going on still. This still is they're trying to play for more. Obviously, their pawns hanging. Like, this is kind of chaos. Pawn here. Look at your structure. This weird, what is going on? The bishop trapped here. You know, you could play for more, but yours is week 2. This is week 2. This could be passed. Like, there's a lot of questions. A lot of questions. Bishop takes d4. He takes it. We trade everything off. And we get to this kind of game. I got a pass pawn. I'm hitting both these pawns. It felt like black ate everything here. In this next sequence, like, bam. Oh, he played c2. And then he took this pawn. Then he took the other pawn. And I was like, what? Oh, what is going on? But then we got here. And this, guys, is like a dead draw. Like... Bro, it's a dead draw. At least it should be. It should be. It should be a draw. But this was not a draw. A3. See what happens, right? King G7. Don't do nothing special. Just tuck and roll. Get the king active, right? It's the endgame. King D2. Rook F4 to hit F2 because this pawn is hanging. Pawn's hanging. This is like almost a lost cause. I mean, you could go here, but then like he goes around this way, try to take like whatever. So you like, he's like, you get one, I get one. And in fact, you take, I'm actually going to win. So he defends it by pushing it. Cool, we go defend the pawn. He goes here, he's going to try to go rook B2. So he brought the rook back. A4. This was a nice little thing that he did too. And I think the time, obviously time was an issue here. If you look at the time on the left. Here too as well. I think this is the real time too as it updates every move. What they had. Time pressure is always a real thing. Rook behind the pawn, always the best defense and offense is behind the pawn. So rook A3 trying to push that boy and also rook A2. King G5, right? The king getting close. I mean, look at this. Out of nowhere, out of thin air, right? An advantage happens, but it really wasn't out of thin air. You had to realize that this pawn was an asset. And what did they say? Passed pawn needs to be kept under lock and key, right? You know, you remember that saying, if you guys remember that. I think, I don't remember who said that. Aaron Nims was one of them. Somebody, one of the chess greats said that. You know, keep the pawn, the passed pawn under lock and key. And that's what he's doing here. He has to, which, you know, ties down the forces. So we bring the king around to go to work. Thanks for that brain fuel purchase there. So, this was good. This was very good and instructive. And then rook A2 and the game is over. Right? The game's over. Look at the eval bar go crazy, but why? Why here? Can you find why is this over, guys? This is sweet. This is some sweet stuff. This is very sweet. Out of nowhere, right? It was like equal. Everything's fine. Everything's cool to like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Bruh. Right? Everything cool, right? We gonna have a draw. I'm gonna be just fine, right? We'll go into this. Keep pushing on. Make a move. Not a move. It's not a move. It is not a move. So, rook d8. I see rook d8 here. And king f4. Rook d8 and king f4. Very nice, chat. Very nice. Very nice. So, in fact, let's actually see by engine standards. I want to see what the number 1 was. So, it's rook d5. So, rook d5. But also, rook d8 was the same. And king f4 seems like one that wouldn't work, but apparently it doesn't because he just takes. King f4 felt good. But rook d5 is definitely, you have to check him, right? Why? Because the king steps off. Now this is loose, but there's like a mating net. Watch this. Watch this. He played king e3, right? Boom, hitting with the next check. King up. Hitting with the next check. And then, of course, he's like, bro, I'm not about to just go to the back rank and be passive. Like, come on, you might as well sign the score sheet right now. Right? You also have, like, rook to d1 right here, by the way. Like, this just completely wins right now. Rook d1. But, so he plays king to g3. This is rough. King g3, he brings the rook down, threatening mate. f4 check. King f5. And actually, oh shoot, the engine went down. Wow, it was equal here. He had to go the other way. Are you kidding me? Oh man. I missed this actually. An analysis. I missed this. He had to go here? So he had to go h5, guys? Oh wait, what happened? Okay. So here. Yeah, this is all game. This is all game. This is all game. So he went here. So he was supposed to go h5. That's insane. Bruh. h5. So why is this a draw? He could just go. Wow, this is very interesting, very instructive here. Okay, so if king h5, But it's still, bro, what? Okay, now they understand. King F3 and then Rook H2 somehow is winning. F5, some type of box. I don't get it, boy. That's crazy. F5, A5. Rook H2. King E3. Check. Now it's a draw. Bro, they confused too, bro. They confused. What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Oh, it's Rook H to E. Wait. Hold on. Here, King here. Bro, what the? Then King H4. This is ridiculous. Rook A to E. Rook A here. Okay. I'm just trying to figure this out. Is there a mate or not? What are we looking at? How do we mate him? Is it possible? They're just like moving around. They're just moving pieces is what it looks like. I have no idea. Literally, that's great. In games are hard, bro. Exactly. That's like nuts how that's working there. But okay. F4. So F4 happened. And after F4 check, he went King F5. And after King F5, obviously, the eval bar is going crazy. Like, yo, it's a draw. If he brings the king to F3. But, I mean, 38 seconds here. Also, in this position, it's very tough to play. And then he plays this move here, which blunders on the spot. On the spot, guys. Can y'all find a sequence of moves? Can you find a sequence here? Still threatening mate if you go H5 rate. Yeah, it was kind of obomorph, right? We just saw that there. So, I mean, in the smallest things here, like it's just, you never think that you would get mated in this type of sequence like this. You would just get mated. Rook D3 from 88 mics is Rook to D3. Then Rook G2. Rook D3. Okay, so we have Rook D3, Rook G2. So here, in fact, it is Rook D3, 100%. But Rook G2 is not the move. Rook D2 is not the move, chat. Can you find it? Who can find it? Who can find it? Who can find the move? It's not Rook to G2. Rook G2, H4, G5, Rook D4 check. Who can find the move? Senior Suds with G5, G5, toy attacker, and A Doc. You were correct too. Hobomorph, oh, you guys are right. G5. G5 and we live, baby. Boy, look at that move right there. That is beautiful. And right here, I think he resigned right here. Yeah, he did. He resigned. So the resi was right here. Resignation. Obviously, he has 35 seconds, so time definitely played a role here in the mistake. But obviously, King's Indian for the win. One for the boys. Yes, sir. King's Indian for the win. You already know. You already know, right? We love the KID. But, yeah, G5. This G5 ended it on the spot. And here's, I mean, obviously, you guys want to see. If King H3, then there's a mate on H3 here, like this. And if pawn takes, then we check first here, and then after king here, then you mate over here on H3. It's a beautiful checkmate. Beautiful checkmating pattern there. So that was one for the King's Indian boys, right? Let's see that again. See that one more time here. Right. This was cool. Smyslov has played this. You can always Google Smyslov, King's Indian, right? You can check these games. This was a Smyslov idea here that was implemented that helped him get a better end game or make things complicated, right? Make it like complicated, because we got something that this is not your usual King's Indian, you know, like you don't get this stuff all the time. This was like King's Indian. You're not thinking this, but this was definitely something different, and I'm sure it was strange for what Tasek here. I'm sure it was very strange, but Black, I mean, was kind of controlling it. As you see, Black's playing for more. You just prefer to be Black. I got play. You got the worst pieces. I mean, I got play, right? Let's just play on and play on and play on. And that's his style anyway, too. Confuse you. And that's what happened. He confused him. It literally worked out here. So big shout out to Big Rich there. But, you know, good luck to Hikaru, because that's who I got in the next match. I got Big Hikaru. My guy. You know what I'm saying? But big out to Big Rich, though. Shout out to Big Rich there for this game. This was fire. What's up, Anita? Need a drink? Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, this was crazy. It's a crazy game. All right, guys, sub to the YouTube. This is going on YouTube, obviously. So, sub to the YouTube, guys. I'll see y'all on the next video. We in here.